has made note of is the fact that her premiums have gone up so high that she refuses to go to the doctor. That is also confirmed by the CEO of Memorial Hermann Healthcare in Houston, Texas, who has said their patient population is getting increasingly sicker and sicker because people aren't going to the doctor. Now, you will hear our president get up and tout that more people have been insured. Well, that doesn't matter if you're insured if you're not going to be able to use your insurance because you're having to pay so much out of pocket just to get to the point where you meet your deductible that it basically saying that you're insured doesn't mean that you're going to be better off. And so we're seeing more and more of that. So the senator is back laser focused on trying every way in the world to get this albatross out from around the American people's neck. One of the things that you all have probably heard about is ICANN. Right now, America essentially has the ability to provide oversight for the internet, which means that freedom of speech and our principles that we adhere to in the United States of America are able to be implemented into the internet, which is open, which means free speech reigns. And I don't know how many of you all have been to Asia. I've been to China a number of times. I can tell you right now, it's a much different deal whenever you're in China trying to Google something than it is in America. And it's not going to happen. And if you were to put the wrong thing on the internet, then you would probably have a visit from someone. So what the senator does not want to see happen is for America to lose control of the internet. And so one of the things that he has done is continue to try. I think September 30th is what we're looking at as a deadline for when we might actually hand over this governance. And yeah, September 30th. And this is, do y'all get Senator Cruz's press releases, by the way? Anybody that's, I know Stacey, you probably do. Y'all can always go to cruz.senate.gov and get any press release, any update that comes out of our office. And it's rich with a lot of information, both videos. Whenever the senator does a floor speech, we try to put as much stuff there as possible. You can sign up for the senator's newsletter and get these things. But on Thursday, the senator gave a floor speech in the Senate outlining the possible dangers of the Obama administration's radical proposal to relinquish oversight of the internet to the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, which is ICANN, which is scheduled to take effect on October 1st. Cruz urged his Senate and House colleagues to take affirmative action to stop the administration's internet giveaway, including inserting legislative language into this month's government funding bill, preventing any funds from being used for this dangerous proposal. So this again is where, about the only thing we have at our disposal is the power of the purse. And you've seen how well or not so well the Republican Party has used the power of the purse over the last 5 years or so. So Senator Cruz is trying to gather support for that. So it's very important that all of us speak up and say we do not want to hand over control of the internet to someone else. With that, I think that I want to make sure there wasn't any other big topics. I think that's about it. That's just a little bit of an overview of some of the things. Like I said, the senator is back more focused than ever on Texas and what we're doing here, and that's a good thing. He is spending a ton of time in the state, again, trying to figure out how do we continue to make Texas the model for the rest of the country, for limited government, economic prosperity, religious liberty, something that continues to be under assault and the senator continues to take stands for. And he will continue to do that. So with that, so that I don't keep Senator Hall waiting much longer, do you all have any questions for me? Yes, sir.
Yeah, real quick, with what you're talking about with the ICANN, is it that much more, if you can elaborate a little bit on how it's that much more of a regulatory thing than a legislative thing, that it doesn't have to get through Congress?
That's exactly right. So essentially, and let's back up to an even bigger picture. One of the reasons why we all get apprehensive about the United Nations is because it is a global, unelected group of people that have nothing to do with American sovereignty other than infringing on it. This is doing the same thing. It's taking something that we have a sovereign right over okay? And it's giving it to the hands of unelected officials. So you could have a group of people all of a sudden say that if you have a domain name registered as with the word liberty, freedom, conservative, just take your pick in it. Some socialist global body elsewhere could come in and say, yeah, that doesn't meet the ICANN standards any longer. We will not have it. And so it would stifle the free speech of Americans by not letting them do that. Or they could say that if your website ranks high in certain language, again, it has to do with conservative principles, Christian principles, whatever the case may be. And you all know that there are a lot of things that we East Texans abide by and believe in and cherish that you go over to parts of Europe that they would take issue with dramatically. So you would have those voices being able to have a say in our liberty and our freedom. Is that good?
Well, my question is, at what point, how come it's being handled as a regulatory thing and not going through Congress is really my question.
Because Congress really has there's nothing Congress could do other than if you were to, and this is just me thinking out loud of a strategy, if Congress were to create a bill that somehow limited the president's power to relinquish that oversight, but I don't know why they're not doing it.
It was just kind of already out there somewhere.
Right.
Congress didn't create it to begin with.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So they would have to go and now create new legislation to somehow govern it, which we did not ever try to do that. Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the William Thompson CDC whistleblower and is Ted Cruz? And is there anything being done to try to make sure his testimony gets before Congress?
Which one is that? There's several whistleblower cases we follow. Which one is?
He's the one who claims that the MMR study that was done by the CDC to prove or disprove that the MMR vaccine was causing autism,
Okay.
that they withheld certain data that would prove that it did.
Okay. No, ma'am, I don't have a statement on that.
Is there anything, it's going to take someone like Ted Cruz to get that to the forefront because there's so many lobbyists,
Yeah.
powerful, big money lobbyists that are preventing that from getting out there.
Okay.
Because once it's out there, then the lid will be blown off of what's been going on for 3 decades since the 1986 Vaccine Recovery Program was started, and pharmaceutical companies were granted immunity for prosecution. There's an increasing number of parents who now have vaccine-injured children, so it's making the noise a lot louder. And with the bill passing in California, making it illegal to go to public school without being vaccinated,
Right.
it's becoming, the noise is getting louder and louder. Somebody's going to have to give, especially since there's so much pressure now in Texas to pass bills to mandate vaccines.
Yeah, and there are two very vocal sides of that issue, but where, as far as an official statement towards it, I don't have one. And that's one of the things I'll do. You all, those of you who have heard me speak before, you know that unless I know that Senator Cruz would say this or that on a certain topic, I just don't go there because, and the only way I know is it's in black and white because he said it and we've got it. So I don't want to give you that information. Daniel, you don't know any statement that we made on that one.
Is there any way that we can get this out to the forefront so that we can get some movement on this? Because we're looking at like 3 years now that William Thompson is sitting there as a whistleblower, still working for the CDC.
I'll bring it to our legislative staff's attention. Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Bob.
I don't know if you have any control over the email of the internet, but I keep getting all from Google. I've been with Google forever, Gmail. I think from Bob Hall, Frank Gaffney, Dr. Laura Presley, alerting me that the email I'm receiving from them is spam. And it just seems, the people that I really trust are getting labeled as spam. So I wish somebody would look into that.
Okay. And is it coming from Senator Hall's campaign distribution list of that effect?
Yeah, when he sends out the Capitol Hall reports, I think I've gotten some from that. I know from Frank Gaffney and Dr. Laura Presley, who's working on this ballot paper trail.
Well, you're much more technical than I am. I would look to see if it might have something to do with the algorithms of how many people are on the distribution list. Is it more of a generic, something like that? I don't know. I'm just guessing out loud, but that's Are you saying you're concerned that if it's from a conservative source of some sort that they may be labeling it spam due to the political content of the emails that you're?
Yeah, like what you were just saying with the keywords in the URL. But I don't get those from people I don't trust, only from people I do.
Okay. I haven't heard anything about that.
We have the same thing happen to us as well. We get the battleground Texas stuff.
Right.
Democrats